Well, hey, everybody. I've been busy. I've been setting up all this, so I got a lot going on. So I got my two monitors going on so I can see kind of what's going on over here. I got this nice little Yorkie dog here ready to add color. So hopefully you guys can see and hear me okay. I can see I've got one person joined over here, and I can see the chat over here from Twitch. I'm going to switch that to multi-stream so I can see both of them. There we go. I should be able to see everybody's chat now. So anyway, okay. And you guys have that's cool. Everything I say gets translated into text for Facebook for hearing impaired. That is so cool. I did not know it did that. Hopefully it can understand my southern dialect. Wow. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. I got the dog ready to add color. I don't think I have any viewers on Twitch. Got a couple of y'all popping in on Facebook, it looks like. But we're just going to sit here for you for a minute. It's like I got 4 viewers right now. So we're just going to sit here for a few minutes. But anyway, somebody say something. Say hi. Wow. So I have to admit, so drawing and live streaming at the same time, it's just kind of like, I guess the best way to describe it is like standing on a unicycle, juggling hand grenades, and I don't know, riding on a tightrope over lava. This is a new beast for me, so it's a kind of it's a learning curve for me. Because I got so much to pay attention to. I got to pay attention to this, and then of course I got to draw, and I got a camera stuck right in here over my drawing, so I'm going to have to work around the camera because I want y'all to be able to see what I'm doing. So, hi Kim. I have not seen this lady in forever. Alright, so let's get started adding some color. Let me... Uh-oh. Okay, it's still there. Let me import that picture again. So y'all can see the dog. Sorry, I should have done this before I started, but it's gonna be a little small on here. Hi Kim, hi Tanya. All right, so anyway, y'all can kind of see what I'm working on for color wise, and then I've got it pulled up over here. Well, it looks like on the face, when I switch this to multi-stream, I cannot respond on there. I apologize for that. So I'm still going to have the other one pulled up so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, well hopefully y'all will Beat me up too much. Alright, I need my eyes. Where's my eyes at? And when I mean my eyes, I mean my glasses. That's a sign you're becoming old. Okay, alright. Let's start adding some color. Hey Susan. Yes, I'm finally working on your picture.
Hello.
Not Siri.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
Never mind, Siri.
There's nothing to cancel.
This is an absolute adorable little dog. I've had this picture here for a good month, but I've been crazy busy with trying to make a little bit of money. Been going out doing a little door dashing because everything, I lost all my events, so I've had to kind of juggle. Still working on caricature orders with, you know, keeping my bills paid. So that's what happened there. When I see the video keeps getting interrupted on Facebook, I assure y'all it's not. It's still going. So anything y'all miss, I think we'll be able to go back and look at later. If you want to replay. Now, I'm going to warn y'all in advance, so whenever I sharpen one of these pencils, my pencil sharpener sitting here on my desk, I will probably mute the mic when I do that, because I'm afraid it's going to vibrate everything and probably sound horrible in the video. So, just to be on the safe side, I will mute the mic whenever I have to sharpen a pencil. Susan, I don't think they can unless you share it. If you share the video, obviously everybody would see it. No, you're just watching it on my page right now. You're fine. I didn't even think about that. Being surprised. Oops. Yeah, I gotta be. That's one thing I have to kind of be careful about what I share. So a lot of times people are doing stuff for surprises for people. Mute this mic for a second while I sharpen this black. Okay. Okay, so this dog has a really light, tannish brown face, and then, of course, the typical Yorkie, where they have a silverish body. So. Like always, I work really, I work light, like like to work light and layer my color. And that's a throwback to the biggest place I learned to do that was when I did Caricature Live. I learned real quickly, and especially with people's hair color, that it's always easier to darken up than it is to lighten, especially with colored pencil or any kind of media. When you have to start erasing and stuff, it really can mess up a picture. So it's better to be, I find it better to be a little cautious and build your color up to where you can always add more if you need to. One of my next purchases I'm going to have to make is what's called some key lights. Because I can honestly tell you, I can tell y'all right now, the color from this GoPro is very washed out, and that's going to come with better lighting. I have my overhead light on and I have my desk lamp on. That's about the best I can do until I get those ordered or get them in. That's one thing at a time. The biggest thing was getting all these cameras to where I could actually stream like this and you guys could see what I'm doing. Let me do some adjustment here. And of course, I'm, like I told you guys before, I'm learning as I go, so I'll get better at this and get organized better too. So for anybody, any artists that are watching this, I don't know if y'all have noticed or not, but a lot of my shading, especially for subtleties like on this tongue, I'm just using a very, very light hand, and I'm doing almost a scribble with this shading, so I don't create any hard lines or anything. And then, and of course, when I'm doing the fur, I'm trying to follow the direction of the animals, the direction of the fur, obviously. So that has a direction. Pretty simple stuff, but I just figure it probably wouldn't hurt to comment on it. Okay. It is sucking. So yeah, as you guys are popping in, feel free to say hi or whatever. You don't have to be shy. I may not see it for a second. I'm maybe looking down at the paper, but when I see you, I will respond. Or you're welcome just to watch if you don't want to say anything. That's cool as well. I figure I'm probably gonna have to do this a few times before I start getting a regular following of people who watch and want to interact and ask questions. I probably will eventually get some artists on here. Which is surprising that I don't have more people than I do, because I have about 1,800 followers on YouTube that follow my caricature videos, so I guess it takes them a while to translate over. So there again, I'm still working light, but I'm going in and I'm trying to grab those darkest areas first, like the ears. And I obviously have to go in and add some red to that too, because those ears have a lot of, from what I can see in the photograph, has a lot of red in it as well. Cheat a little bit. Being left-handed, there's certain ways you have to turn the paper. Anybody that's an artist knows what I'm doing. Turn the paper however you need to get this make it easier to make the strokes. There again, I'm trying to keep this relatively light and build it up. And I'm trying to create I'm still thinking about the 3D effect too, because obviously you can see how that hair is kind of flat in here, but out here, you know, it's kind of more, you know, they have that eyebrows, I guess you'd say. So you have to show that stuff too. Create a little bit of depth, a little bit of dark. Get really dark right there underneath where a form would be, to help pop it out a little bit. That's my drawing pad doing that, in case y'all are wondering. Well, hey folks, thank y'all for joining in. I hope y'all are enjoying this. to those of y'all who are just joining, I was going to give y'all a heads up. So my pencil sharpener is sitting right here on my desk, and every time I sharpen one of these pencils, I'm afraid it's going to vibrate everything in the microphone. So I'm hitting the mute button on the mic whenever I sharpen my pencil. So that's why I keep doing that. Also, I have some exciting news. Those that are here, and I'm sure people will go back and see this video later. Most of the people who already follow my dog art are aware, but there is a local ER vet here in Kannapolis that had me do all of their pets to hang in there in the ER vet, and unfortunately, when people go there, they're usually going there to have a pet put down or a pet that's very in very bad health. So they're in, they're usually pretty upset. But the whole reason behind it was they wanted to cheer the place up a little bit. So I did some nice caricatured portraits of all their pets, and there's canvases in there throughout the ER vet now. But I did that about, I want to say, a good 6 to 8 months ago. Maybe longer than that now. Maybe last year, I don't know. Time flies. But anyway, I got an email yesterday from another possible vet in Matthews who wants to do the same thing. So I've emailed him back and given him prices. So I'm just waiting to hear back. You know, sometimes those emails turn into nothing. Sometimes they turn into more business. So, but I am excited at the prospect of it. Can't wait, hopefully, to do some more for them. Okay, all right, I think that's enough brown for a little bit. Let's go in with just a little bit of this orange. I don't want to get too stupid with it, though. Well, it's not really orange, that's actually yellow ochre. Let me pause this for just a second. Ugh. Anyway, this is that yellow ochre. Real light start hitting over that with the this is what I'm calling, I guess it'd be pretty much the mid-tone of the dog. I still want to leave that little bit of white highlighted edge on the edge of that ear, so I won't fully color that in. I'll still same thing, going relatively light, and I'm using I guess you'd say like a little bit of a looser, real light circle, where on the tongue that was more of a tight scribble. This is a little bit more of a oval that I'm doing as I'm shading, and then being sure to control where the color goes. Hold on a second, sorry. Okay. That other ear, same thing. Remember them. If I have any artists watching this, I do want to say, if you've never done caricatures, whether you think you can or not, I highly recommend you at least try them. I learned so much as a caricature artist that's helped me with other art as well. Biggest thing being speed and not overthinking things. Okay, it's looking good. Alright, so I'm gonna leave probably a little bit of white on that face there, so. And obviously, if I was doing, I could still consider this a caricature. If I was doing more of a portrait, I would not be going nearly as fast on this. I would be pouring over each individual hair a lot more detailed. Although this is not really very exaggerated either, so I'm very well aware of that. There is a couple artists I've mentioned on some of my other streams, because everybody has their heroes they look up to, and I absolutely love their work. One of my buddies who does dog art, he did a book, and he was actually one of the ones who inspired me to try to do my book that I did. That didn't happen yet. It will eventually, but his name is Nate Kapnicki. I may be butchering his name, but he has a Instagram and YouTube. I don't know if he has YouTube yet. I know he has an Instagram. It's Little Beasties, and he does these really exaggerated dog caricatures, and they're absolutely hilarious. I love his stuff. And then there's another guy in Florida that does some really cool dog caricatures too. I really like his stuff too. He is his I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but at the end of the day, I don't try to be Nate Kapnicki. I don't try to be this other guy. I try to do the best Eric Melton sketch that I can for people. I've talked about that in some of my other videos. I admire these other artists. I love their work, but at the end of the day, I want to give you guys the best version of me, not what I can copy from somebody else. So that's something that kind of aha'd me in the last couple of years. Like, why are you trying so hard to be like everybody else? That's one of the beautiful things about artists. That no two artists are the same. Everybody's different. Everybody's got their own way of looking at the world. I'm going to mute this again real quick. Obviously, back in the day when sand, okay, I think that might be the right color. Obviously, back in the day when I was learning to draw, I had, you do a lot of replication of other artists. And I still do, to some degree. You learn, and you learn techniques from different artists, and I hope that I'm doing my small part to help inspire someone. I absolutely love this little dog. This is adorable. I know watching me color is not the most exciting thing in the world, but anyway, I hope somebody's enjoying this. I've always been one of those people that can't sit still. I have to wait till after the video's done and go back and hit the fast forward button. That's, I guess, because I'm on OCD. Or AD or ADHD or whatever you want to call it. Not that that's a joking matter, but I get it. I honestly think if there's ever any kid that could have been diagnosed with it, it was me. I could not sit still when I was little. But I had a grandma who didn't put up with that crap. Unrelated art story. Tell you how I learned my ABCs. So I still remember it. I was probably, oh God, it was before kindergarten, because when I started kindergarten I already knew all that, because my grandmother sent me down in the front yard on an old, one of those old lawn chairs, the folding ones that had the slats on it, the vinyl. And she was sitting in the chair, and she made me sit on the bottom of the chair facing her. She had flashcards. And every time I would fidget, look away, or anything, she had a hickory. And she would whack me with it. So, and you imagine being 2 years old wanting to move and stuff. It was, by today's standard, it would probably be considered abuse, but guess what? It didn't help. All through school I had problems sitting still and talking, getting in trouble. So some of that stuff you can't beat. I mean, yeah, obviously some of it's discipline, but in my case it wasn't. It's just me. I still have a problem with talking. I have to, this is a good outlet for me where I can sit here and just run my mouth and have somebody listen to it. Yeah, guys, I don't know what the color looks like on what you guys are seeing, but this color is way... The dog does not look green. It looks green on my computer monitor, but it is not, I promise you. Maybe a setting in the GoPro I need to play with. But you know how it is. As you get more equipment, I'll get bigger and better stuff. Right now we're working off a DSLR and a GoPro. I'll mute this again while I sharpen this real quick. So yeah, I had an interesting childhood. I was very much loved. I was very much taken care of. But at the same time, we were what you would consider a poverty family too. Which, you know, that's the past. But that's the running joke in the family, in the house here. A lot of times my wife will ask me, like, well, have you ever seen, like I hadn't seen a lot of Disney movies. She'll ask me, well, have you ever seen this movie? I'm like, nope, I was a poor kid. We couldn't afford Disney, which was actually true. Nope, didn't go to Disney. I was like, you have food. But if there's one thing that I like to try to do with my life is prove to people and to kids that it has nothing to do with where you come from. It's what you do with what you're given. I have worked my ass off my entire life to be an artist. And it's not perfect. It's still not perfect. It will never be perfect. I'll still have to, like right now, with this virus, everything kind of dried up, so I've had to go out and do a little door dashing to keep my bills paid. But at the end of the day, this is my gig. This is my passion. This is what I do. I'll keep hustling. I'll keep grinding, I guess you could say. So if there's anybody watching that has any kids, work at it. Don't give up. Just make sure whatever kind of dream you have, be willing to work for it. And be realistic. I'll give you guys a quick example of what I mean by that. Because I don't like to just throw out information like that and just say, well, you figure it out. No. So when I was a young man in my early 20s, just fresh out of high school, I started doing these at a local amusement park. Well, the mentality I had was, this is just going to be something for me to do a couple summers, until my real art career takes off, my real art. And I was in college at the time, and then I found out I had a real quick dose of reality, is that the people who were working there, doing caricatures, the ones who were, I guess, our supervisors, or a lot of them, already had art degrees, and they were doing caricatures because, guess what? They could not find an art job. I'm not saying they're not out there. I'm not saying it can't be done. But it takes a long time. It's taken me a long time to build up the clientele I have now, and the ability to most days make a living at this. There's no magic button. I know artists who work for Mad Magazine. I know artists who illustrate for Time Magazine, and they still, they got some pretty nice gigs going on there. But at the end of the day, they still have to hustle. They still have to work at it. It doesn't just fall in their lap. Let me see what's going on with this camera. Let me see what happens if I move my light a little bit. Oh well, I'll leave it alone. I hate that the color's off like that though. It looks really green. Anyway, we're coming up on about another hour. I'm going to work on this probably another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to call this a night. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I know, I know a lot of people will go back and watch this later, or they can hit the fast forward button past the boring parts, and that's okay. I don't fault anybody for that, but maybe somebody needs to listen to it. I'm gonna sharpen this one. Make that brown. A little dark under there. Down here in this fur, especially on this body, because we got some bigger, what I call bigger clumps. So I will start rendering some of this out and trying to give it a little bit of form. One of the questions that I get a lot, people will email me or whatever, they want to know how do you do it? How do you draw? And I'm going to give you all the same answer that I was told back when I first started drawing. And at the time it ticked me off because I was like, man, they just don't want to take the time to tell me anything. So what I was told was there is no secret. Learn to render the forms and the shapes and the shading and the color and all that. And honestly, literally is all there is to it. There is no secret to it. It's discipline. It's sitting down and taking the time to learn to draw. Obviously, you got to have talent. I'm not saying that everybody's going to be able to pick up a pencil and learn to draw. Some people can't. You need to know the difference, and you have to be honest with yourself. Don't let friends and family BS you into thinking you're good at something that you're not. Honestly, the people who are honest with you may hurt your feelings, but that's the ones you need to listen to. Not being negative, not trying to be negative, but the ones who give you honest feedback. And those are hard. Those friends are hard, few and far, and hard to come by. That are going to balance that honesty with truth, and with encouragement. So. This is a gift I've had my entire life. I've been able to draw since I was 6 years old. Obviously, I honed the talent and worked at it, and I had a wonderful mother who encouraged me every step of the way. She would buy me coloring books, and she taught me how to color. And I still have some of her artwork hanging over there on the wall. Yesterday was Mother's Day. That's the reason I mentioned that. Your mom passed away a few years ago, but she's alive and well in my heart and in my art. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it's the truth. My mother was a wonderful artist, but she never had any self-confidence in herself. So that was one of the things she always pushed for me to have was confidence. She always told me not to be a jerk, don't be cocky, don't be mean to people, but always be confident in yourself. You're good enough. Sharpen his pencil. And I'll be quite honest with y'all, speaking to that, I do get people from time to time. Like I had one just the other day wanted to know if I would do a Zoom meeting with him and give them a class. And what I would charge. I'm like, well, I didn't even respond to her because here's the thing. And I probably should have. This is my fault for assuming. But I find that most people don't want to hear truth. They want to hear. I get a lot. They want me to tell them, "Oh, it's okay. You're going to be great." And I'm no judge of where they're going to be in 20 years. I mean, that was one of the hardest pieces of advice I heard one time. Hold on one second. When I was, I think I was 20, 21 years old, and I was doing caricatures. I had just finished Carowinds, just finished Cedar Point, and I came back to Charlotte for Christmas, and I was working in the mall in Charlotte at Carolina Place. And I was bored because business sucked. I mean, it was horrible. I was working for another caricature artist in his stand. But anyway, that's not the point. The point was I was sitting there one day bored, and I did this colored pencil rendering of an eyeball. It was okay. It wasn't nothing special. And I showed it, and I was so proud of it. I thought I did such a good job. And there was another artist there in the mall who did. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's actually pretty famous now. He was just getting started at the time. He does some cool stuff. He does these really cool pictures. But he looked at it and he said, "Eric, it's nice picture." He said, but he basically told me I was a lot better than that. And why was I sitting there being proud of something mediocre? And that hit me. I was like, at the time it kind of ticked me off. I'm like, well, why is he being such a jerk to me? I'm like, then I thought about it. It took me years to think about it. Like, he wasn't being a jerk to me. He was doing one of the few things that very few people actually do, and that's give honest feedback. And looking back, and I mean, I look back at stuff I did 2 weeks ago. I'm like, that was trash. Point is, you got to push yourself, and we're all guilty of getting in those comfort zones where we don't as artists. And I want to start pushing my work more. So got an oil painting sitting over there, got an easel sitting over there. I've been talking about painting for 3 years now. I haven't done it, so guilty as charged. Well, guys, we're coming up on about an hour. We've been at this tonight, and I want to thank everybody for joining in. I hope y'all have enjoyed watching this and listening to me run my mouth and kick off what I think is wisdom. Maybe not. Depends on who's listening. But anyway, hope you guys had a great Mother's Day weekend. We got Father's Day coming up in a few weeks, and remember those parents. I don't have mine anymore, so. Actually, I've lost quite a few family members, so don't have a whole lot of them left. Anyway, not to try to leave you guys on a sad note, but I will try to leave you on a good note. Love your family, love your animals, and y'all be good to each other. And here's to hoping we get back to some normalcy sooner than later with this corona stuff. Anyway, thanks again. Y'all stay safe out there, okay?